Rise or fall. The night shift. The hospital lights in Shreveport flickered at exactly 3:03 a.m. Dr. Lawrence dropped to one knee beside his little boy in the hallway. Rain slammed against the windows. Thunder shook the building. The child smiled, but his reflection in the wet floor didn't smile back. It stared straight up and whispered, "Daddy, don't turn around." Lawrence turned anyway. The hallway behind him stretched longer than before. Impossible long. Operating room doors slammed shut by themselves. A basketball rolled across the floor. Slow, then stopped at his feet. Written on the ball in black marker. Pain, pressure, purpose. Pick one before sunrise. Chapter 3. Rice Street, Fall Street. Outside the hospital, lightning lit up a street sign. One arrow pointed left. Rise. One pointed right. Fall. The child walked toward Rise, laughing. Lawrence followed, then saw tiny wet footprints appear behind them. But they weren't his sons. Something else was walking with them. Chapter 4. The Bayou Voice. 18 to 24 secs. The city disappeared. Now they stood in a dark Louisiana bayou under red lightning. Spanish moss moved with no wind. Water rippled like something breathing underneath. A voice rose from the black water. Every king in the bayou got to choose. Save yourself or save your blood. Then a pale hand reached from the water and grabbed Lawrence's ankle. Lawrence pulled free and grabbed his son tight. The storm exploded above them. Blue lightning on one side, red fire on the other. The child looked up smiling. Then his eyes glowed bright white. He pointed at the sky and said, "Daddy, I was never the one you were supposed to save." Thunder cracked. And when morning came, the hospital hallway was empty, except one basketball rocking by itself, and a badge on the floor that read, "Rise or Fall."
Blood in the Bayou, chapters 1 to 5 expanded. Chapter 1, Sisters from the Mud in Baton Rouge, where the air feel like you breathing through water, and sirens don't scare nobody no more. They just background noise. That's where Keisha and Lania came up. Same mama, same struggle, same broken house on a dead-end street, but they was built different. Keisha, the oldest, yeah, life ain't hug her. It hit her. Fights at school, nights with no lights. She learned quick. If you don't get hard, you don't last. Lanya, though, she still had light in her. Still smiling like life ain't done her dirty yet. Still dreaming about getting out, finding love, living better. They shared clothes, food, pain, even shared silence when things got too real. But one thing they never shared, love. Cause where they from, love always come with a price, and they was about to find out just how expensive. Chapter 2, enter Dre. His name was Dre. Dude had that presence. Gold teeth shining under the corner store light. Voice smooth like he rehearsed every word. He wasn't rich, but he moved like he was. Street money, street respect. Keisha met him first, and for the first time, she let her guard down. He pulled up, opened doors, stayed close, made her feel safe in a world that never gave her that. She fell fast, too fast, but Dre, he ain't the settling type. See, one night he came by the house, and that's when he saw Lana. Different vibe, softer, easier. She wasn't supposed to catch his attention, but she did. And once a man like Dre start looking, he don't stop. Chapter 3, lines get crossed. At first, it was nothing, just small stuff. A joke that lasted too long, a look that felt different. Keisha ain't peep it. She too busy living in her feelings. But Lana, she felt it. Late nights turned into conversations. Conversations turned into secrets. Dre started texting her when Keisha asleep, pulling up when Keisha gone. One night, it went too far. A touch that lingered, a moment that shouldn't have happened, but did. Lana pulled back at first, said, "This wrong, that's my sister." But Dre leaned in, whispering like the devil himself, Don't nobody gotta know. And just like that, right and wrong got blurry. And while they playing in the dark, Keisha still thinking she in love, not knowing her whole world cracking right under her feet. Chapter 4, The Fall. Then came the night everything broke. Keisha got caught up with the wrong crowd. Quick money move. Supposed to be easy, but nothing easy in Baton Rouge. Police lights came fast, too fast. Somebody ran, somebody snitched. Next thing you know, Keisha face down on the pavement, hands behind her back. She's screaming, fighting, but it was over. 3 years, just like that. As they threw her in the car, she looked up. Dre standing there, Lana behind him. She locked eyes with both of them, but neither one could look back. That's when she knew something wasn't right. Chapter 5, Replacements. Time don't stop for nobody. Not in the streets, not for love. Soon as Keisha gone, Dre slid right back in that same house, same couch, same bed, just a different sister. Lana tried to fight it at first, cried at night, felt sick about it, but Dre stayed, held her, talked to her, made it feel like it wasn't betrayal, like it was meant to be. That's how it happens. Slow, dirty, quiet. Then one morning, everything changed. Lane sitting on the edge of the bed, holding that test with shaky hands. 2 lines, positive. Her heart dropped. Dre smiled like it was nothing. But deep down, she knew this wasn't love. This was consequences. And somewhere, locked behind them walls, Keisha was getting stronger. And when she come home, ain't nobody safe. Homecoming, 60s. 3 years later, that gate slid open and Keisha walked out different. Same face, but colder eyes, quieter, calculated. Jail ain't break her. It taught her patience. Back in Baton Rouge, everything felt the same. Same heat, same blocks, but people moved funny around her. Then she saw it. Lania's belly, Dre standing next to her like everything normal. That hit deeper than the sentence ever did. But Keisha ain't crash out. Nah, she hugged her sister, smiled in Dre's face. Y'all good? She said, like nothing ever happened. But inside, she already planning something they couldn't see coming. Chapter 7, Playing Nice, 60s. Keisha started popping up more. At the house, at the store. Random pull-ups, always smiling, always calm, too calm. Lania wanted to believe it, that her sister forgave her. Dre, he ain't buying it. He watched Keisha like you watch a storm rolling in. But Keisha played her role perfect, cooking, laughing, even talking to the baby like she was excited. That's what made it scary, because real anger loud, but revenge moved quiet. And Keisha, she wasn't yelling no more. Chapter 8, Pressure, building, 60s. The house started feeling different, heavy. Lania couldn't sleep right, kept waking up in the middle of the night, heart racing. Dre started staying out late again, too much tension in one place. Keisha though, she always around, watching, listening, learning. She knew Lania still had her habits, still had her weak spots, and she used that. Little comments, little nudges, pushing her sister back toward bad decisions, not forcing it, just guiding it, like setting up dominoes, just waiting to knock them down. Chapter 9, The Night Everything Broke, 60s. That night felt normal, too normal. Music low, lights dim. Lania relaxed for the first time in a while. Keisha right there with her, laughing, talking like old times. That's what made it dangerous, because sometimes the people who hurt you don't look like enemies. They look like family. Hours passed, then silence. Morning came, and everything changed. Lania didn't wake up. The house went cold, and Keisha, she stood there, quiet, like she already knew how this was gonna end. Chapter 10, Aftermath, 60s. The whole block felt it. Sirens, yellow tape, people whispering on corners. They say it was an overdose. That's what everybody ran with. Dre ain't right after that. Couldn't sleep, couldn't think. Something in his gut told him this wasn't just bad luck. Then he looked at Keisha, really looked, that same calm, that same silence. That's when it hit him. Too late at the funeral. Keisha stood over her sister, tears falling, but her face blank. No anger, no pain, just empty. Because in Baton Rouge, love don't always end in happiness. Sometimes it ends in silence. Sometimes it ends in regret. And sometimes it ends with the one person you trusted most.
Biscuit wasn't always called Money Boy. That name, that came later, after the silence changed him. Out in the deep jungle, where the trees swallowed the sky and the air stayed thick like it was holding secrets, Biscuit became somebody new. Out there, time didn't matter. Days didn't have meaning. It was just survival. Over and over again. Nobody knew where he came from. And truth be told, he wanted it that way. No family, no phone, no past chasing him down. Just a man, and whatever strength he had left. Every morning started the same. The sun barely cracked through the leaves as Biscuit climbed those same banana trees. His hands rough, his feet used to the bark. No fear of falling, because when you got nothing left, even falling don't scare you. He'd grab what he could, sit on a branch, and eat slow. Not because he wanted to, but because he had to make it last. Rainwater caught in leaves became his drink. The ground became his bed. Nights were cold, loud with insects, but somehow still felt empty. That kind of empty hits different. See, people think the jungle is the scary part. Nah, the real fear? Silence. No voices, no laughter, no love, just your thoughts. Reminding you of everything you ran from. And Biscuit ran for a reason. Back in the real world, they didn't call him Money Boy. They called him broke. They laughed when he tried, doubted every move he made. People he trusted turned their back when he needed them most. He gave loyalty and got pain in return. That type of hurt don't just go away. It changes you. So he disappeared. Ran so far, nobody could find him or hurt him again. At first, it felt good, peaceful. No drama, no fake love, no expectations, just quiet. But quiet turns heavy after a while. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. His beard grew wild. His body got stronger. His mind, sharper, but colder. He forgot what conversation felt like. Forgot what it meant to be seen. Then one night, everything shifted. The sky was darker than usual. No stars, just a black blanket over the world. Biscuit sat on the ground holding his last banana for the night. No rush, no hunger, just thinking. He stared at it for a long time, then finally spoke. Soft. Almost like he forgot how his own voice sounded. Is this living or just surviving? That question hit different, because for the first time, he didn't have an answer. He looked around. Same trees, same routine, same loneliness. Safe, yeah, but empty. And that's when it clicked. You can hide from pain, but you also hide from everything else too. Love, opportunity, growth, life. Biscuit stood up slowly, his legs steady, but his mind racing. Out there in the world, there's risk. People still fake, still dangerous, still capable of breaking you. But out there's also something real, something he never gave himself a second chance to find. He walked toward the edge of the jungle. Each step felt heavier than the last. Not because he was weak, but because he knew. Once he crossed that line, there was no going back to hiding. He stopped for a second, looked behind him. Years of survival, comfort in isolation, a life with no threats. Then he turned forward. Unknown territory, risk, pain, but also possibility. Biscuit took a deep breath and stepped out. That moment, that wasn't just a step, that was a decision. To stop surviving and start living. Now whether he makes it or loses it all again, that part ain't promised. Because life don't guarantee wins, only chances.
And once
Rise
I've got the
or
light
fall.
working with me,
It's
I think
always
about
your
how
move.
I'm going to move. I always keep